Since we were living in Brazil, as we were considering the options, we wanted them to come here and have a ministry house experience from early on. Because Ministry House has been such a strong point at Xenos for so long, we felt like they would gain better friendships, that they'd get a lot more of an idea of what in-depth relationships are like. We have never seen a church environment where, especially youth, but anybody, is incorporated in a significant way in ministry and in-depth discipleship. And so we really wanted them to come back to Xenos and not just hear about it.
Living in the ministry house and just being around other women who are striving after the same thing relationships-wise really gave me the opportunity to learn how to build in with relationships and get to know the girls on a deep level.
These girls have really become my family, and to see the change that's gone through all of us has been really exciting. And honestly, my relationship with the Lord has never been this close before either. And a lot of that is because of the community that I'm around and the consistency of it. And I can't imagine life without it. You know, the day I have to move out of Ministry House will probably be one of the saddest. I love it here so much. It's the hardest thing I think I've ever done, ever, but it's definitely been the most rewarding.
I lived in an honors dorm, so a lot of these students are very quality students, and they're sleeping around, getting drunk, looking at pornography, just like the rest of our culture. So it's not like having your kid in the right dorm or the right school is going to keep them away from the cosmos. Anything you could want is at your fingertips from a moral point of view, and some of it sort of is forced upon you. There would be nights where I would try to go to bed, but my roommate was hanging out with a chick in the bedroom, and I kind of didn't know whether to go in there or not. Regularly seeing, sort of pseudo or literally pornographic imagery, either on somebody's computer or in a magazine that's laying around, whereas there's a strong commitment in a ministry house that that's not okay, and that we're going to keep each other accountable in that area.
I know my roommate had a girl about every week over staying the night while I was in the room, and that's just like one of many things. You also have, as I said, you have drugs circling around the dorms, and yeah, there's a few good apples in the bunch, but you can count that on one hand probably per floor. The only real quiet place is in the downstairs lobby, and you have people walking in and out and interrupting you, and I couldn't study in the dorms. When I dropped out of college eventually, my sophomore year, I had a 1.3 GPA at Ohio State.
We thought the dorms would be a good idea. He thought the dorms would be a good idea because it would put him right in the heart of campus. He would be in the flow of communication at Ohio State. That would be helpful. He'd know what was going on. Unfortunately, it was pretty rough the first quarter. He didn't really get any sleep. His roommate was very inconsiderate, and I think there was just a lot of pressure.
He was taking a hard curriculum. He was getting up, doing early morning classes, and there was a number of people that were not as interested in their grades in the dorm. Josh has done great in school, and he's done an excellent job balancing the ministry and academics. He's was in the College of Engineering with computer sciences and graduated with high marks.
Living in a ministry house was not at all difficult as far as my academic experience was concerned. For one, during the day, a lot of people either have jobs or in school, so the whole house is empty during the day.
I feel that my academic success was partly because of the motivation of being in a ministry house and having the other girls there to study with and stuff.
I've had the most success in academics because of ministry houses. The first house leader I had really kept the ministry house full of a drive for more academics and studying hard, and it was really cool because he set the bar high for our kind of attitude shift of, instead of doing enough to get by, let's view academics as a stewardship, and let's go out there and do a good job. My dad was against me going into a ministry house at first, and then after he saw my leap in academics, go up, he was for it, and he said, you know what, I'm going to help you out. So now I'm full-time, and I'll probably graduate within a year with a degree in philosophy.
There's accountability in a house. So even where the sin does exist and where the temptation exists, you have people around you that really care about you and want to see you grow.
Well, I feel my character has definitely been challenged living in a ministry house in a good way. Living with other girls, especially when you live with 7 or 8 other girls, can be difficult sometimes. And me being autonomous, like that being one of my major sins, has really been a struggle for me at times. But I've learned to see, like, this is not, you know, what the Lord wants for my life. He doesn't want me to be autonomous. He wants me to learn to build in with these women. And I feel that it was the ministry house that really helped me to see that.
Before, when living with my parents, it was really easy to let it all hang out and not worry about it, and then go out with my friends and be almost a completely different person sometimes. Here, that's not so much the case. You know, you can't hide your sins as much. You can't hide your flaws. You can't go home to mom and dad and just blow up at them. It's going to come out. And these past 2 years, I've seen a lot of things come out of me that I didn't know even existed, a lot of sin. And it's been quite a struggle, but man, has it changed me completely.
I think probably some of the biggest changes I've seen in our kids as they've come back and adapted here has had to do with just a compassion and a willingness to really be sacrificial for the other students that they live with and are working with.
We've really felt like he's blossomed with some leadership skills and some other things that, having this little microcosm of a community, he really grew quite a bit.